Hi, I'm Carl Azus. This is CNN Student News. We're starting this week with a terrorist attack at a shopping mall that turned into a hostage situation. This happened in the East African nation of Kenya. In the capital city of Nairobi, the Westgate shopping mall is a popular place for Kenyans and people from other countries. On Saturday, people were desperate to get out of the mall. Some hid in stores, bathrooms, or stairwells. Kenyan soldiers and police officers responded after gunmen stormed the building and started shooting. At least 68 people were killed, at least 175 others were injured. On Sunday evening, the Kenyan military said most of the hostages inside the Westgate Mall had been rescued, and they were making every effort to end the situation. An extremist Islamic group called Al-Shabaab says it's responsible for this attack. It's based in Somalia, a country that borders Kenya, and it's affiliated with Al-Qaeda, the terrorist organization that's responsible for attacks around the world. The Westgate Mall in Nairobi is what security experts consider a soft target. It's a place that might have less security, where terrorists could potentially cause more damage. Margaret Connolly examined safety measures at these types of locations.
It may be more than 7,000 miles from Nairobi, Kenya to the United States, but the mall massacre halfway around the world couldn't bring the tragedy any closer to home. Washington, D.C. resident Sarah Head was inside the mall when shots were fired. She kept hidden in a stairwell with dozens of others as the chaos unfolded.
So we just waited in the stairwell for about an hour and a half. There were two individuals with me who had superficial gunshot wounds. Individuals in the stairwell with me, they were not with me. But there was about probably, 60 of us. There were a few floors worth of people.
The attack on these so-called soft targets raises the question about mall security on U.S. soil. Could what happened overseas happen here?
Soft targets are always attractive to terrorists because they're usually not defended. It's a very effective way of causing a lot of panic, a lot of damage very quickly, and achieving an objective of terrorizing people.
Back in this country, one mall that puts its security front and center is Minnesota's Mall of America, one of the largest enclosed shopping centers in the country, visited by 42 million people a year.
I think that if you're looking for 100% safety, you should probably wrap yourself in bubble wrap and never leave home.
It even has something many government facilities do not.
This is a drill. Mall of America is now going into lockdown.
Twice a month, without fail, its tenants and its customers participate in a lockdown drill, practicing how to shelter in back rooms of stores to try to prevent casualties in an attack.
If something bad should happen here, we don't want our response to start with, and law enforcement will be here and they will protect you. We want to know what can be done until law enforcement gets here.
Even with heightened security, an awareness of your surroundings may end up being your best defense.
For the average American citizen, you go to the grocery store, you go to the gas station, you go to the shopping mall, you go to a movie theater, you take walks in your neighborhood. Any one of those situations could make you vulnerable if other people or another person is out there determined to conduct an attack.
See if you can ID me. I'm a form of severe weather. I occur in the western North Pacific Ocean around China, Japan, and the Philippines. I'm the same type of storm as a hurricane or a cyclone. I'm a typhoon, and my name can be traced back to a Greek word that means violent storm.
This is what we mean by violent. Typhoon Usagi blew into China's Guangdong province Sunday night. That's in the southeast part of the country. It's been the world's most powerful storm of the year. And Usagi had already brought death and destruction to the Philippines and Taiwan before it approached mainland China. At one point before it hit China, Usagi was classified as a super typhoon, the equivalent of a Category 5 hurricane. You can see here why forecasters were saying flooding would be a problem. Usagi shut down a major shipping lane, forced hundreds of flights to be canceled, and evacuations were in the tens of thousands. It is common for this region to see major storms at this time of year, though. Officials in Chicago, Illinois are trying to find ways to reduce violence in their city. Last year, there were 500 homicides in Chicago. That's more than any other American city. The spotlight is back in Chicago after another shooting incident last week. 13 people were wounded by shots fired at a park. One of the victims was 3 years old. Officials said he was in stable condition last Friday, and none of the victims suffered life-threatening injuries. Chicago's police superintendent called that a miracle. He also said the shooting appeared to be gang-related. Some people in Chicago are trying to bring local gangs there together in an effort to stop the violence. Mike Puccinelli from affiliate WBBM has more on this weekend's Peace Tournament.
It looks like an ordinary basketball game, but this court is made up of teams of rivals, gangbangers and ex-gangbangers who've come together to play ball.
I can bring everybody together, like we work as a team, accomplish our goals and move on. I leave all the shooting and the gangbanging to the streets.
It's the second annual Peace Tournament put on by Father Michael Flager and about a dozen of his NBA friends. NBA Hall of Famer and Chicago native Isaiah Thomas was there, cajoling two rivals to hug before the game.
Y'all can't kill me, man. I can't kill y'all, man.
And it appeared to work.
We gotta do better than this.
The tournament comes at a time when Chicago is again in the headlines after 13 people were shot in Cornell Square Park Thursday night. It's an embarrassment for the city and the mayor who leads it. And Rahm Emanuel was booed when he entered the gym today. The same can't be said of Derrick Rose, who received cheers worthy of an NBA MVP. Rose and many of the other NBA players have come from the same hardscrabble neighborhoods as those playing today. So when ex-Bull Ben Gordon speaks, the at-risk boys and men listen.
Whoever's in this community, you got to come together as a people. We got to try to unite and try to realize that what we're doing to ourselves is just digging ourselves a deeper hole.
And it's hoped that today's game can help those who want to climb out.
They no longer enemies to me.
All right, if you saw a $20 bill just lying on the ground, you might just pick it up and keep it. What if you saw someone drop a 20 and then you saw someone else pocket it? That happened to Joey Pruzak. WCCO's Susan Elizabeth Littlefield tells us what happened next.
I bet you I had 20-some phone calls and like Yahoo News called.
What happened last week has people talking and wanting to speak to him. A 6-summer veteran worker, he was doing his thing when a visually impaired customer walked in the door.
When he went to put everything back in his pocket, because he put it in his front pocket, that's when he happened to drop the $20 bill on the ground.
Another customer stepped in for all the wrong reasons.
The lady behind him picked it up so quickly that I figured, oh, she's just going to hand it right back to him. When she went and put it in her purse, she goes, "It's my money." And I go, "All right, I'm going to ask you to leave the store politely right now." And then she made a big scene, started swearing, and then she stormed out.
After serving the people in line, he approached the blind man who had been listening to what had happened to his money.
I told him, you dropped $20. I would like to give you $20 on behalf of myself and Dairy Queen to try and make things right.
But it didn't come from his cash register. It came from his pocket.
It's about 2 hours pay.
Someone who was watching from afar wrote to corporate. While dozens called, some came.
WCCO radio, and that's how I heard about it. And it just touched my heart. And I said, I have to come meet, I have to just bring a card. So I brought a card to say thank you to Joey.
I think what I did was so extremely nice when all I was doing was really the right thing to do.
We're going to start on the East Coast and work our way west for today's roll call. First up, Ocean Township, New Jersey, and the Spartans of Ocean Township High. Next, it's over to Mount Lebanon High School. That's in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and it's the home of the Blue Devils. And our last stop is with the Eagles from Hudsonville High School in Hudsonville, Michigan. Thanks to all of y'all for watching. Hockey fan was tired of waiting to see if his team would get a new arena, so he built one himself out of Legos. Even gave his home team the Stanley Cup. We're not just talking about some simple toy construction project. This is a full-scale arena with announcers, cameramen, hallways, restrooms. There are advertisements on the boards. There's even a statue out front. Building something like this was no piece of cake, but adding all the little hockey details was definitely the icing. The builder says he's planning to tear it down and start a new project soon, so I guess this one was just add hockey. Woo! You can make a mega Lego creation too. You just need to block out enough time. We are out of time. We'll be back tomorrow with more building blocks of news on CNN Student News.